What's up, you guys? This is Junior Trader, and in this morning update video, we are taking a look at Nvidia stock most importantly, and then I'll also take you over other semiconductors, AMD, ARM, Broadcom, SMCI, and so forth, right? So guys, with that, please hit the like and subscribe, and also please note, none of this is any financial advice and is only for education purposes. Now, technically, what's happening? Well, there's this one though article we have here. Again, I won't go too much in there because I want to focus on technicals. But Intel Qualcomm export licenses revoked by US tech giants won't be able to sell chips to Huawei. Report. That's funny. They didn't have well, Intel must be beaten up by that, but they didn't have anything on Nvidia here specifically. Well, here we go. The US has been actively implementing measures to restrict China's access. Despite these efforts, Chinese entities have reportedly managed to acquire, Nvidia's chips from third party. Yeah, if Nvidia sells to some other country and China buys from there, things are still working, right? But it's just the hair in the nose that these regulations do create. But anyways, let's focus back on the technicals. Intel is 2% down. If I just really quickly show you guys, just because we covered that news, Intel has been in a brutal downtrend. This thing is, yeah, going pretty much all-time lows. Wow, this thing is, well, if you're a long-term investor, I don't know if this, again, like I won't just go and buy it. There's no price action right now confirming to the upside. But something to watch. If price action starts to confirm back to the upside, then this might be a good investment for the long term. It's not an intraday or a swing play, though, just remember. Okay, sorry guys, let's come back to Nvidia and let's talk about that, the price action here. So Nvidia, what are we seeing? Well, so I have been saying that, guys, as long as Nvidia is above $887, this is still in the bullish territory. Pullbacks on this are fine. They can be traded intraday short until there, but that's the one of the levels. On the swing, as long as we are above that, we are still bullish. We are even bullish on swing, even if we come, as if we even come down to 859, that will still be a bullish sign. It's just that intraday shorts could be traded, but we'll talk about that in the hourly interval in just a second. But on the swing side, yeah, Nvidia is still strong, guys. As I said, take profits in the extensions though, okay? And the pullbacks is what you want to see if you want to reload, right? But yeah, we have higher lows, guys, right? And higher highs. So nothing has really changed in that regards, okay? So things are still looking upside on Nvidia. We are also above that 824. That's a sentiment shift level to the up or down, but we are way far up from there, so there's not even a point in talking about that. But full on, Nvidia is bullish, and you can see that also. Let's go to the 4 hours first today. You can also see that there's this pivot trend line. Until then, if Nvidia even cools off back down to this trend line, that will just still keep it bullish. You can see that's 859, right? That's just a pullback. But this pullback, as I was saying yesterday, is, Nvidia may sell off today, right? That was one of the video I did yesterday. Now, well, guys, the sell-off that I was, well, first of all, wanting would have been the first area of 887. Most of the sell-off happened in the pre-market. We rebounded at one of our levels of 894. One of our, you can see the mark by my indicator as well. And then we are though still failing to make a higher high. You can see this is a lower high, right? And Nvidia 906 is what I have been saying. If it, as for the near term area, if it can hold above it, sure, upside. But if we fail 906, then the levels to the downside to be washed upon this thing. So Nvidia is failing again 906, and at the same time, it's making a lower high. Now, the thing is that as with these lower highs, right, you can see we are not making lower lows though. So at this point, you have to be a bit careful. Even though intradays, yes, the cool off is most likely going to continue, but intraday cool offs, we will, 859 or 883, these cool offs are fine. But the thing is that just be careful though, because we are at the critical pivot area zone, are not making a lower high, right? We are making a, sorry, we are not making a lower low. This is like a double bottom, but we are making lower highs. So you have to be careful that as we are falling, we lost 906. Wow, that's like a flush just right over there. But if this time Nvidia holds 894 and starts to go up, this time it's definitely going to break out of this trend line, then shoot up. But otherwise, no. This thing is, yeah, cool off is, or sell off for intradays or cool offs. That's what has been happening. And for the reasons I'm showing you, right, why that is the case, and because Nvidia is failing to make a structural higher highs, higher lows, and not just that, but failing to hold the levels for the intraday's continuation. And that's why at least this cool off on intraday is coming, and that's why on swing we should take profits in the extensions, and then we should take sorry, if you want to reload, then you reload in the pullback, but with the stop loss on the other side. What it allows you to do is allows you to take your profits in the extensions, then get in if you want to get in again after price action has confirmed with the very narrow range stop loss. So if you hit your stop loss, you are not losing big money, and you have to have a reward ratio higher than the risk ratio, right? So that's why the structural trading is very important. Again, you go and do whatever you want to do. I'm not here to tell you what you have to do. I'm just sharing my opinion, that's all. All right, so that's Nvidia, and even like 50 days moving average, even if we touch down there in the school of guys, this technically is just a pullback, okay, on the bigger time frame, okay. All right, guys, good stuff, right? All right, let's take a look at AMD as well. So AMD, as I was talking about in my one of the other video of AMD that I did, that this is a pivotal point, guys. 20 days moving average. If we go above that, well, there's another level that we can capture to 162. But if we reject here, then we will start heading lower. This is when I did the video, guys, with that green candle when it just touched that 20 days moving average. And right now, we're seeing some cool off, guys. So here's the thing. If the traders can't hold 151, this pivot is lost, and then it's a continuation to the downside. If they hold 151 and it starts to go above 20 days moving average, you can be prepared again to reach this $162. All right, so that's why 151 levels with 20 days moving average is very important on AMD right now. Let's take a look at hourly interval as well. Yeah, here's the thing, is forming head and shoulder, right? And at this time, if we lose 200 hours moving average, I think, yeah, that will be the end of it. 151 might not hold then, in my opinion, but if it does, it does. So that's why it's important to make sure price action you see at these levels. But yeah, 200 hours moving average, it all comes down to this as well if it holds. Otherwise, yeah, that's the area. This is the area of some possibility if it want to turn around. Otherwise, no. Let's take a look at ARM, because we have ARM earnings, and I'll talk about this, guys, once the earnings have come. So in one of my videos, I was talking about that, guys, this pivot has held, and most likely we will break out of $103. We have done that. Now the thing is that we have earnings, so we'll have to see what happens after earnings. So yeah, right now I don't want to say much, but anything, if we lose 103 today post earnings and we fell lower, then it will continue lower. If post earnings we gap up above 115, then there's a more likelihood we'll continue higher on ARM. But it all comes down to earnings today. That will affect Nvidia as well, AMD as well, other semiconductors as well. Broadcom. So Broadcom is, guys, very simple. It's as long as it's not going above this trend line, it is still in that downward structure, but it's like consolidating or downwarding, right? It's not fully bullish, but it has been trending against this trend line. So this is what I would say, just use that trend line as if it rejects over there, then it can continue lower. I don't have any position on this at the moment. Yeah, other ones that I had, I already sized out in profits, but I'm not holding anything anymore on this. Intel, I showed you already. SMCI. SMCI, guys, I'll do maybe another video on this. This requires another video, but yeah, it's right now rejecting that 20 days moving average and that trend line, but it's failing to go lower. right now. So if it wants to hold a pivot, it has to do it here, which seems like, let's go to the hourly interval. Yeah, seems like it's holding a pivot, guys. Yeah, above 200 hours moving average. So this might be, this is turned into just a pullback and making a higher high. Yeah, at this time, unless it's not losing $801 level or 200 hours moving average, this thing has a room to stay choppy or eventually break this trend line as well. That, and then that will change the structure as well as soon as it gets above 855. But yeah, so this is the zone you are watching. If it has to reject, it has to reject this trend line. This is where you are seeing the price action as well. And then, yeah, then you are seeing the pivot. So if it holds this pivot, it is still just an upside. If we lose that with the lose of $809, then you are expecting continuation to the downside. Okay, Micron, the last stock for this video, and I just want to provide you an update. I know I haven't done Micron for quite some times. Guys, as you know, I was already sizing out in this position here in my partial profits, the short position I had open. I was fully out by this red candle on that because the structure was shifting to the upside above. I meant to do a video over the weekend on this, but I couldn't. But that was the thing, that as if we break out of this $116, then that's a structural change, and that's why I booked out my profits. Whatever position was left, I'm fully out of it as well. All right, so guys, that's it for this video. Nvidia a little bit more in the sell-off pressure, but anyways, if you found this video helpful, hit the like, subscribe. If you need access to my tools, links are in the description below. I have 2 indicators, 2 trading bots, and Wall Street alerts. And with that, I'll see you in my next videos, guys. Take care. Bye.